spoke with Dean Rebecca about Kepler's degradation status. With the strangelets, we've been able to keep the altar of relativity stable, but it's not going to be enough to get us through it to 3.
We'll need to get them a stronger source of power. What options do we have on a planetoid as remote as Kepler?
It sounds like these folks have been relying on some shaky generators since the House of Exile took over their power plant in the outer steppes.
Then getting them a stable power source is our next step. Guardian, you take point. Head to that plant to see what can be done to remove the Exile threat and get it up and running again.
A strangelet sulks in the corners of the steppes.
Glad to have you along, Ori. And good to know. We'll help the Ionians and get a few steps closer to reaching the 9. Our purpose here is twofold. Lodi informed me the Ionians' power situation is dire. They've been relying on outdated generators since the House of Exile locked down the paths to the Singularity. With our efforts to stabilize the altar, those energy stores are growing more inefficient by the minute. We need to fix the reactor and alleviate the strain on their generators as soon as possible.
Swallow your tremor. We are being observed by the 9. I will try to find them.
Stay safe, Orin. And stay focused, Guardian. There's a strangelet here that was taken by the Exiles. Securing it will get the Guardian through to 3.
Ikora, we've reached the main reactor room.
Excellent. You'll need to tap into the reactor's kernel interface. With any luck, this will be a simple reboot sequence.
Proceed with caution. The temperature is a limbo.
Okay, I'm still getting unstable power readings. It's not enough to totally reboot the system, but we've opened a door leading to another power source. Follow that cable, Guardian.
It's them. Damn it, it's still them. It's always them. It's the 9. We were supposed to turn on the lights. Guardian, these words are not my own.
Progress. Trending and fleeting. Met with primeval victory. Set in motion to vivify. Did you play the game? Keep eyes on the field. Bank every move. Instructions given and heeded. The Drifter's Hall arriving. We hope you prepared help. Did you pay attention, Guardian?
We've got exiles incoming.
Orin, are you all right? I can see why you left.
I wanted my freedom back. As emissary, I knew I was signing it away, but what I got in return wasn't worth it in the end. Just when I saw through to the past, learned my own names, they scraped me out hollow. I learned the hard way. Liberty was more valuable than power. They can keep the kid with the nicer bosuns. My freedom is worth the price. You hear that? Don't even try!
We're activating another power source.
It's not enough to bring the reactor fully online. There has to be another around here somewhere. Orin, as far as I'm concerned, the Nine ignored every single one of our existential threats in recent memory. Gaul, the Hive Pantheon, the Witness, none of them warranted extra-dimensional intervention?
Oh, they intervened. You'll just never know. Everything you listed happened because the Nine allowed it.
I'll just never know. If you make bold claims without proof, you'll start speaking like the Archon.
I can see their temporal fingerprints on the Guardian. On Lodi. On Drifter. On me. And on you, Ikora. The feeling you get around the trains? This isn't a coincidence. It's a show of force.
Eyes up, Guardian. Here's the source of all the trouble.
They've wronged you, Orin. That much is clear. But their interference in the larger affairs of Sol seems minimal.
How about on your cohort? The Hall? That hideous thing dragging behind the Drifter's ship? The Nine gave it to him years ago. Didn't say what for. He tell you it's reacting to Kepler.
Yes. He was almost uncharacteristically forthcoming with that information. He's got the situation under control.
You don't understand.
I'm trying to. Power source is offline. We'll need to reactivate it before the exiles cause more trouble.
Enemies incoming.
To be clear, I don't doubt the Nine exist. Nor am I trying to minimize your struggle for freedom, Warren. You said we came to Kepler at the Nine's behest. But so far, all I've seen is a planet on the brink of annihilation, unless we do something to stop this black hole. Where is the intervention?
It already happened. The Nine collected their tax. On the Drifter's Hall, on Lodi's gift, on the Guardian's calibration. On you, Ikora. We just haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry.
That's the last power source available on the grid. I'm hoping it'll be enough to cycle the power and get the reactor up and running again. Orin's perspective is eerie. The Nine are either completely detached or so involved they overtake your life. I think I'm feeling that dread Ikora was talking about. Let's get out of here. Fast. What about the Guardian, Orin? They've changed the fate of the universe. They chose to be here.
Each choice, right, trial, wasn't absent an organizer. Do you know you comply with instructions you don't know exist? From the moment you arrived on Kepler, you've marked coincidence after coincidence. Happenstance, serendipity, the brush of spiderweb against your cheek may as well be chiseled slabs to the Nine.
Watch out. A large contingent of Elixni Shanks is approaching. They seem drawn to the central reactor now that it's producing an energy signal.
Rot! Damn it! Colossal Shank!
Watch out. A large contingent of Elixni Shanks is approaching. They seem drawn to the central reactor now that it's producing an energy signal.
Rot! Damn it! Colossal Shank!
our Strangelet. Collect it now.
The likelihood of the outer orbits being knocked out of position has decreased. They appreciate that. Huh. Am I finally allowed to remember something?
They're speaking to you?
They are reminding me. No, I am reminding me. The message.
You've talked about this message before. Is it for us?
It is. It's in the slab I chiseled myself as the 9 fought to tear me apart. But the relief is weathered, blurred and buffed away by their sands.
Focus. If there's something you need us to know, I trust you can find it again.
Chisel in hand, I will remember. But not yet. Not until the time is ripe.
Guardian, get that Strangelet capsule back to the Ionians. Now that the power's back on, we're that much closer to reaching the singularity. Lodi, Drifter. We have another Strangelet. The Guardian's dropping it off at the altar. Drifter, any updates on the hull?
It's starting to drift toward... almost like a gravitational pull. I'm burning thrusters just to keep it in place. I don't know what'll happen when I let this bird loose, but I'm seeing this through, even if my instincts are telling me to scram.
I'd be worried if your instincts weren't telling you to run from a black hole. Glad to have you here with us, Mr. Drifter.
We have one more Strangelet to find before our work here is done.
It's almost time to meet 3.
They want to talk to you. To help you understand, both of you. Oh no, don't touch it. Sorry. I don't know what happens if you touch it.
You hold it. Guardian, get close.
Two speaks on behalf of 3, that you might grasp your necessary presence at this point in space, in time. Commander, your first step, scheduled at our hand. An intervention necessary to ensure attendance.
The 9 killed me to get me here?
From simple perspectives, the technicality. Light bearer. Thank you for your attendance with minimal interference. To you we say, vengeance required. The culprit lies within. The drifter must prepare his gift. Emissary, reveal your truth. Wake the dead. They will speak. You will listen.
Why would we listen? The Nine manipulated our lives. How far back?
Two showed me how you died. But I already knew the rest. You deserve to know the truth. I'm sorry, Miss Ray.
If I could choose just one day and live it all over again, I'd go back to the start. 'Cause I'm stuck right here today, dreaming of the past. Now when I call you up, it's like your phone don't ring, baby. And when I see you in a crowd and call your name out loud, it's like you don't hear a thing. Like a king who lost his crown. If you need me, I'll be around, dreaming of the past. But right now, darling, when it feels like my world is falling, I hope and I pray that soon there'll come a as I hang my head in shame, dreaming of the past.
What was your name?
Lewis. Agent Lewis Sierra.
Thank you, Lewis.
How long did you know?
From the second I saw you.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because you're not her! I figured the Nine put you here to torture me. The one face I recognize. And she had no idea who I was. If I told you, it would be because I wanted that. Not because it would help you.
Well, you're right. It doesn't. You know that much about me. Lodi, did the Nine kill me just to ensure I would end up here?
Yes. Maybe your body had to be in the right place for your ghost to find you?
I woke up by a car in the desert, with a flower in my hand. Ophiuchus chose me as his guardian, and every choice I made led me here.
Catastrophic intervention. That flower was an aster. She...
I don't want to know. Don't tell me her name. Don't tell me anything about her. She's dead.
Julius.
Guardian, someone's on the line.
Guardians forget their past life for a reason. Who we were is immaterial to our potential as paracausal beings. I am Ikora Ray, Warlock Vanguard. I am an accomplished scholar, pioneer Thanatonaut. I've won hundreds of Crucible matches, and I have thwarted humanity's most dire threats time and time again. The woman I saw, the woman Lodi knew, she wasn't me. I don't even know her name. Yet, I mourn her. She had a life, a vocation, a family she loved. The Nine took that from her. And for what? So they could throw the very same train that killed her at me centuries later? Sprinkle a clever little trail across Seoul for us to follow? For what? I have no desire to see more of that woman's life. But I need answers. She deserves them.
Orin? That you?
Yes. There and here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look, we left off on the wrong foot. And I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House's Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think the Vex seek the Nine through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
You're a tad late for this skirmish. Or early. Either way, you must have seen the Vex going about their deterministic routines by now. They're dug in and trying to assimilate everything around them. They mean to turn a sphere to a circle here, so to speak. We have an advantage, in that the Vex, who are exposed to dark matter, find themselves caught in a thick yellow confusion. The presence of the Nine here resists Vex probing with dense air. But it's thinning. We need to address this. I haven't been able to get close enough for a detailed assessment, but you can.
Fire team, I'll be overseeing this operation. I want to stay focused and on task.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Nothing has changed. No matter who I was, I'm still Ikora Ray. Orin, status.
The Vex are watching this place. Rifles strung up in the cliffs. We need to break pottery. Tear it down.
Orin's right. Perimeter scans show Vex signatures, and they've converted the old HCO networks into a sort of security lattice.
She's also right about tearing it down. Keep your focus on the present and find a way through. Without active surveillance, you'll be able to move through the surrounding canyons without tripping Vex security every 10 paces. Taking the Vex's security lattice offline revealed something, Guardian. There's a massive dampening field that extends to the area we know 3 is behind. It's a barrier to entry, but from these readings, that isn't its purpose. Rather, it's stopping anything from getting out.
I'm seeing that too. It's the same type of quarantine protocol the Vex use to close off damaged portions of their network.
We must want to prevent the singularity expanding too. But we'll need to remove it to get to 3.
I remember something else now. A hooked request. There's a message I'm to remember here. It feels like a decompression, like plugged ears. What I mean is the 9 are holding something back from me. I think. I know. I remember. Or will. I want to help.
The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating the dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix. They've recognized their vulnerability to the 9's energy and are adjusting.
It's still only noise. Tear down the signal and they'll die in the quiet.
I think we can get through here now. The signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from 1 point, it's 3. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research terminal still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Vex are trying to access it.
Interesting. Let's kill two birds with one stone. Bring down the dampening broadcast. And in the chaos, we'll crush their incursion into the old colony systems.
Your plan is cranked, Knuckles. I like it. I'm glad we're taking the direct route. Without you, Guardian, my steps would be mouse squeaks in the floorboard. I've always been more gauntlets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
The city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see.
That is not a tower. The broadcasts are coming from those giant minotaurs. Stay low, Guardian. Look, another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way. I'm detecting shield projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian. This should help us get to the security lens.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the Pineland splinter, Guardian! Charge! The Vex mine curdles and the dampening field weakens.
Orin, contact the 9. Punch through that Vex interference.
Spins below you, the planets above. An event into the encoded horizon. message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks, cupped in hands. A weapon. In the rising heat, I see a fashioned maulhead. Heavy in its arc, it smashes everything that would stop its descent. No volition in given roles. Smoke. It's gone. Damn! Damn, I could almost see it! Oh.
You did great, Orin. Guardian. Seems like the 9 have their eyes on you, too.
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalog the 9's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the 9 wove plots around the paracausal.
They know the 9 can manipulate us, and are learning how to work the same way. This data is a playbook for emulating the 9. Ghost, download everything, then purge the console. Orin, did they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know to meet every triumph with gunpowder thank you cards, and that we'd need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. Quantum indeterminate. But soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
Lodi. The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Misrate that. That's incredible. Anything, and I mean anything that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The 9 are tethered by sentience and soul celestial bodies. They have a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tides of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed with intention. I to mentor the new emissary. Drifter's been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, High Cora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the 9. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
Well, Titan, let's see what we have here.
Need something new? Eververse has it. Take as long as you like. I can wait.
They showed those new jump ships on the news feed. Impressive.
Looking for anything special? Take as long as you like. I can wait.